Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all the superstars in the talent tribe all over the world. This is Frank Salas, better known as the talented Mr. Salas. I'm broadcasting live on Periscope. We have this webinar being recorded with one of my just really awesome friends that I met at the Periscope Summit in San Francisco. I just went up to him and I was like, hey man, I like what you're doing. I can tell you're headed big, towards big things. And I wanted to introduce myself. And he was like really cool about it. He wasn't like, oh, I'm Mr. Guru or I'm like this kind of panel speaker. He was like, yo, Frank, what's up, man? I heard a little bit about you. I don't know too much about you. Let me, get to know you. And then he said something that really stuck with me. It stuck with me to this day. He says, Frank, let's not keep this a handshake at a conference. Let's connect. Let's not make this a Facebook message. Let's connect. And you know what? He's a busy guy. I'm a busy guy. And we've been trying just about every other month to connect, to really do something. And this is our first time in September. So 8-9 months later, we're finally getting it done to where we're like, okay, let's serve our tribes. Let's get out there. And Kristian is the king of funnels, man. Like, I didn't believe in funnels until after I listened to Kristian's content, because I was like, no, I'm going to do everything organic and I don't need this and I don't need that. It's like, no, bro, you need a list. Like, if you want to scale this, you have to do this. So without further ado, Kristian, introduce yourself a little bit to everybody.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Kristian Cotta, affectionately known as the King of Funnels on Periscope. I did not give myself that name, first of all. That came from my tribe. And actually, it's kind of funny because I have my coach, my mentor, who we're now doing a lot of work for, building funnels for his clients. They have so much stuff going on that they're outsourcing a lot of it to myself and my team. And I told him, I said, you know what? My community on Periscope started calling me the King of Funnels, and I feel like a hack job because I'm not, I don't consider myself the King of Funnels. And he was like, dude, you're definitely there. He said, don't worry about it. Take it as a, like a vote of confidence. So, and then just to touch base, when we met in San Francisco, I mean, who wouldn't notice you in your fleek fly, suit and ascot, and like, dude, I just wanted to continue to connect with you so I could get some style tips. I mean, you're the Mr. GQ, social media GQ, man. So I'm glad that we finally got this on. I know that we were talking about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, and this is just for those of you that are watching, this is just the prelude. This is the appetizer to some stuff that Frank and myself and a few other people are putting together. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard the term funnels. It's not a new concept. I wouldn't say that it's something that just, all of a sudden, oh my God, this is like the newest, latest, greatest strategy. Funnels have been around for a long time. A lot of people know what Infusionsoft is. If you don't know what Infusionsoft is, they're one of the largest automated CRM companies for online marketing. And funnels, before they were coined funnels, were called campaigns. And so email campaigns, automated sequences, putting your business on autopilot, all of that stuff has been around for probably, 10, 15 years, since online marketing and online sales started to get very strategic. It's only been, I'd say, about 3 years since the term funnel has been used. And that term was kind of brought to the forefront. It's obviously a buzzword that a lot of people are more aware of now, but that term was really kind of created by Russell Brunson. And we're going to talk more about Russell Brunson. We're going to talk about some software that Russell Brunson created that will really make your life a lot easier, especially if you're trying to build an email list, if you're trying to sell products online, if you're bootstrapping it, popsicle sticking it, if you're just starting out, solopreneur, like most of us are, and you're not sure where to put that hard-earned coin and how to spend it so that you're not wasting it. Frank and I are going to share something with you at the end of what we teach today. So with that, where do you want to start, Frank?
So let's talk about the importance of the list, because when you and I first met, I was all organic. I was like, I don't want a list. I want you to break my door down, asking me for business. And because I delivered my content in a certain way that's very unique and very, to me, and that does work for me, but that's not the best practice for most people who don't have the intangibles that I have or the skill set that I have that I've worked on for several years and some decades to get to that point. Maybe somebody who's just getting started off, maybe you can explain the benefit of having a list, because you completely changed my mind about having a list.
Yeah, so there's a couple different things. So a lot of times when we think of online marketing, we hear the term, internet marketer. We hear the term blogger. We hear the term social media marketer. And really, if you think about it, it all stems back to what's called direct response marketing. So before internet marketing existed, before the internet was around, we used to get these, we would get a piece of mail in the mailbox, and it would be, a long letter, and it would, have some sort of thing. And then it would be like, send in your check for $2.25 to this PO box, and then you'll get X, Y, and Z every single month. A lot of people probably remember Columbia Warehouse, which was like the CD company that, you'd pay $10 a month and you'd get whatever the newest CD was that came out every month. And I couldn't wait to go to the mail, and I'd take the little stamps and I'd put them on, and I'd get like the Jodeci CD, and I wanted like Boys to Men and Belle Biv DeVoe, and I'd get the box and I'd have like 10 of them. That's where all the strategies that we see today really stem from, and it's direct response marketing. And then what happened is that when online marketing started to evolve, we started to see factions, and it was really predicated based off of where people's comfort was. So you had social media marketers. Those are the people that are social. You had email marketers. Those are the people that are, more comfortable with email and writing. And then you have, internet marketers. Those are the people that are just really strategic in their sales process. And so really what happens is that if you want to be a fundamentally sound and fully evolved online marketer, and you want to make sure that your business is on autopilot and you have everything smooth, you have to have certain components of all of those. And the reason for that is because everything that we know of from marketing, everything that we grew up with, is now transitioning into the online world. And so when you start to build that awareness and you start to understand it, it makes it a lot easier for you to start to strategize and understand the best way to find your audience, to find your customers, and how.
Hey guys, am I back?
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. You see this whiteboard behind me? This is our office hack. We're working at the community college, and the 2-hour time limit for the Wi-Fi kicked me off. So what I was talking about was that you want to be able to reach as many people as possible and speak to them in the modality that they're most comfortable with. And so for some of them, it might be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all that. Other people, it's going to be they check their email every day. Then there's other people that never check their email, but they're on text message like nonstop, right? So we're seeing this convergence. And so if you start to think about it, there's three parts to a funnel. There's traffic, there's the communication process, and then there's the conversion. And so you have to have, you can't have a successful funnel missing any of those. So most people have a product, but they don't have a process, right? And maybe they have traffic or they have the customers, but they don't have a process for selling that product. Then you have people that have a process for acquiring customers, but they don't have a product. So there's tends to be one of these key components that's missing, and for most people, they're just not aware of it. So if we go back and we start to think about the different things, the different ways of communication that used to exist and how we're communicating now, you think of TV. Well, before I would say YouTube, but now we have live video. So it would be live video for newspapers, really Facebook. People go to Facebook now and they use that almost like a news outlet. If you think of, radio would be podcasts, right? So you have all these different things that we're aware of before, but we categorize them differently. And so you have to find your traffic source. Okay, a lot of people aren't comfortable with paid traffic. Can change your guys' mind on that here in this process of a funnel. And why funnels work so well is because with a funnel, what we're doing is we're introducing people in a very non-evasive way. So before, kind of like a J. Crew catalog, you get the catalog in the mail and you flip through the pages and you see every single thing that J. Crew has, and they hope that you find something that you like and that you'll pick it out and buy it. But now online there's an overload, and so if you give people too many options, they'll just freeze up and they won't do anything. And so the reason that funnels work so well is because it allows us to control the sequence and control the outcome. And if somebody doesn't take an action, that's okay, because we're looking only for the people that way we can find those hyperactive buyers and we can get them to buy more of what we have, versus hoping that if we show them everything, they'll pick out something that they like. And so that's why the funnel process is so important. And then the conversion side of things is that when you do it in a process of a funnel, and when you set up a funnel correctly, what happens is that you help people get an amplified result, because you're finding the people that really want your product or really have a need for what it is that you're offering. And so those people are getting a larger result because they're either in desperate, they're aware of their problem, they were looking for this specific solution, and so it amplifies the outcome for them, which makes a better experience both for you and for your customer. And that creates this long-term repeat customer process instead of all these one-off sales where you're constantly having to, figure out what the next sale is, because we're not just selling one product at a time. We're not selling one thing. We're trying to sell product number one, and then product number two is going to enhance their result, and then product number three is going to take them a little bit to the right and give them a lateral result that they might not have even been aware of was a problem, but now we're helping them have the foresight to say, okay, now that I've fixed A and B, I need to prepare for C, which they weren't aware of it before because they were still focused on problem A and B. And so that's kind of the 3,000 foot perspective of funnels, getting started, and starting to understand it.
That was great, and I hope you guys go back and re-listen to that if you have access to this later on or watch the replay. Just because if you have a list, just like Kristian Cotta said, it's a way to build a relationship in a business sense, meaning you maybe purchased a $27 product. Maybe you purchase a $47 upsell and then a $97 upsell from that. And those would give you some value. And then let's say they want to work with you one-on-one, or you'd like to work with Kristian or myself one-on-one. Well, all influencers are coming in at 5 figures. Anybody who has substantial expertise, anybody who has substantial following, social proof, etc., they're going to come in at 5 figures. That's just the fee to work with people and to work with people of stature in this business who have results, testimonials, a network, a winner circle, influencer circle, and whatnot. And it's easier to get that sale generated if you are going to...
Oh, froze up. So I'm going to talk here in case anybody's listening. I see a question from Jose Gonzalez is asking, the list is the base of the house or the root of the plant? Well, if I'm thinking correctly, you're talking about the foundation. I would say yes, your email list is the foundation that your business is built off of, but it also depends, okay? Everything depends, right? All results may vary. And so if we're talking about the list, it depends, because when you look at a funnel, you're building what we call like a sub-segment. And what we can do too is, I've never been on Zoom for a webinar, but I love Zoom. I use it for almost every meeting I have because I love the whiteboard function. Can I jump in there, do the screen share, and jump on the whiteboard and give these people some...
Absolutely. You should have all of the permissions, and if you don't...
Yep. All right, so first of all, forgive me for my mouse trackpad drawings. This is gonna look worse. This is gonna look worse than my 6-year-old, guaranteed. But if we go back to what we're talking about originally, and I'll get to this base of the funnel. So if we think of a funnel, funnel looks like this, right? It starts out wide at the top, and then we're funneling and we're finding those targeted people. So people segment online marketing into social media. We talked about bloggers, which I'm going to call content marketing. Email marketers. I'm just going to shorthand this. Email marketers over here. Internet marketers, which would be the guys that are really good at getting you to pull out your credit card and you've never even seen their face. And we could go all the way down here, but have some overlap, right? So you create your content goes to social media. Whenever you create a new piece of content, you email it out. You put up a new social media post and you send that to your email list, right? You write something in an email and you turn it into a piece of content. I mean, this is repurposing at its finest, right? You do a live stream video and it becomes your blog post. So there's all these multiple ways to take one idea and turn it into all this content. But really what you're doing is you're creating traffic that's coming into your funnel, okay? And so whatever that primary idea or concept is you're driving traffic to the top of the funnel. So what we're doing in regards to list building is we're creating, and I'm going to do this. So I'm going to clear this out. So if you think of funnels, okay, you could have, I'll just use what we're working on right now. So we have some live video products. So we've got one funnel over here. Okay, we've got some paid traffic products and funnels. We've got some e-commerce products that we're building. We've got, something else over here. So we might have 4 different funnels, and out of this, there might be variations of these funnels. So we might have a free plus shipping one. We do a webinar. But these are all of these, it's based on our content. Okay, each one of these has a piece of content out there or something that's driving specific traffic based on what these are, what these are focused on. So live video, paid traffic, e-commerce and whatever. And what happens is that we find highly targeted people. So now we're creating lists in here that we can speak directly to these people based off of what we know they're interested in. Okay, they might not be interested in e-commerce, but they're interested in live video. Once we get them through here, we start to tell them why e-commerce is good and how you can use live video to sell e-commerce stuff. We just open them up and turn them into a new awareness level as a potential customer. So when he's asking about the base of the house, it depends, okay? Because right now we have all these people, and the way that we look at our emails, so we're talking about list building here. You can create individual lists in a whole array of things. So, I mean, for example, we have a Republican conservative business that we have a list that we're growing at about 2,500 to 3,000 people a week. Okay, I didn't have any intention of building a business around Republicans, but since Trump is so, and so we have these lists. Well, guess what? There's going to be people that are Republicans, that are conservative, that are interested in online marketing. We have another business that's geared around live sports, and differences that are individual lists. We create what we call a bridge, and we can move people between these lists, different opportunities. But what I want you guys to understand with a funnel is that you're creating a sequence in which you're trying to get people to purchase. And then if they don't purchase, now you're sending them to what I believe Jose was talking about, your base, which is what we call a house list. Okay, so this is like your big bucket. This is your house list, your primary one. Just put HS. So when you have people in a funnel, we're only talking to them specifically about what it is that we want them to purchase. So if they bought product number 1, they're only getting emails about product number 2. If they don't do that, they come to the house list. If they do take that action and there's a third product, then we're talking to them specifically about that. And the only time we move them, that we talk to them about something else, is if they're here on our house list and we're sending them broadcast emails. And the whole purpose of our broadcast email is to put a link and some sort of information that they'll find value from, that will get them to click on the link to go to one of these funnels. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. So question.
Are you frozen?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
Killing me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I see your nice picture.
Cool. Yeah, I shut off my video so I can. Yeah, we're getting a lot of this makes great value. This makes great sense. Totally. So Kristian, should you always segment your list, or should you always have like a one size fits all?
No. So the more you can segment, and the more you start doing that, one of the reasons, here's another benefit for funnels that a lot of people don't think about. It's kind of like an afterthought, is that when you start creating funnels, because you're getting so targeted, is that it makes organizing your list easier, right? Because now I have the ability to know, okay, this person came through my live video funnel. That means that they're interested in live video, so I can tag them right there. Now I know if I have something related to live videos that I come out with later, or if I have an affiliate offer, I can send it to my entire list. But if I want to get really targeted, I can send it to just the people that I know like live video, because they've told me that, right? And so when you look at your list, the more you can start to target, or you can start to tag people, you can start to segment them. It's going to make it a lot easier for you to understand who to talk to, who to send different messages to, and what's most likely going to help you get a better response. I mean, people, I don't know about you, but I just purged like all the different newsletters in like the last, I don't know, I've been following people for like 3 years since I've been learning online marketing. So I had massive amounts of folders in my email, in my Gmail, of like different, who I thought were, big online marketers that, oh, I need to save these emails and I'm going to model what they're doing. And then I start to realize the more information that I know more than this guy over here. I'm not really learning anything. So I purged a whole bunch of it. But, that's how you start to understand how to talk to people. So you're not talking in generalities, but you're talking in details, and you're providing more value, and you're giving the right value to the right people. Because if I get a bunch of garbage, I'm unsubscribing.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the fear of unsubscribing, because unsubscribing is not always a bad thing.
No, it's not. It's actually, it's a good thing, because here's if we're talking about like running and operating a business, if you have people that aren't opening your emails that are on your list, your CRM or your email service provider, if you're using Infusionsoft or Aweber or ActiveCampaign, they're charging you for those people. I'd rather have somebody unsubscribe and get off my list so that I'm not paying for them. If they're not finding value, it's doing neither of us any good. It's just dead space. So we actually go through every 6 months and take a look to see who has been opening our emails. And if there's people that haven't opened an email in 6 months, we'll purge it. We'll just take them off our list. Because, I mean, honestly, we're not providing them with anything. They're not providing us. It's like being in a relationship that isn't doing anything for either party.
Right. I feel that.
It's like dating.
I feel that. Yo, I feel that, and I've been there, man. You just gotta cut ties. You might just want to send that one a text and be like, yo, I don't even want to meet you at the coffee shop. Just want to let you know it's not working out.
Yeah. That's the text breakup.
The text breakup with the people on your list. Cool. Yeah. So there's a lot of people who still have this fear because they work so hard to build up this list, and they get to their email and they're like, okay, what do I write? Like, what's the first step? What should the first few emails be from somebody as they email their list?
So you gotta take a look at this from a couple different standpoints. There's no hard and fast rule to what you want to be writing. I don't consider myself an email expert. Excuse me. I don't consider myself like an email marketing expert. I understand how you want to be talking to your audience and how you want to how you're going to provoke an action from them. And so, I mean, if you're looking at it from just a general broadcast standpoint, so I drew that house list. So anyone that's on the house list, if you have any kind of email marketing strategy, the whole purpose of that is to drive, to drive them somewhere new, to provide them some sort of value, to drive them somewhere. Now, that doesn't mean that you're always trying to pitch them on something. That could be driving them to a great blog article that you saw that you think is going to really benefit your list. It could be somebody else's YouTube video that was exactly what you were just talking about, and here's a great, more detail for them. Because that's the whole purpose, is you want to help provide them with more information. Now, ultimately, you want to mix it in there and sprinkle it in with, here's a tool that I use. And that could be an affiliate link of yours that you stand behind, you back it, you confirm that this is a great tool, or this is a book that I got a lot of value from. If you're an entrepreneur, it's going to help you get in the right mind frame. Put this on your list, start reading it, right? But it definitely has to have links to funnels that provide value and gives them an opportunity to buy your products. People expect that you're going to make offers to them, and if you don't make offers to them, then they're starting to wonder, why am I on this list, right? I mean, why are you building a list if you're not trying to sell people something? Like, you can't be afraid of selling them, because they're expecting you to sell them something, and if you don't, they're going to get pissed, right? One of the biggest mistakes that people make is, if you bring someone into your email list through a funnel and they purchase a $7 product, don't keep selling them $7 products. Okay? They want to ascend. If they bought a $7 product and they liked it, they want to buy your $25 product. And if they like your $25 product, they want to buy your $200 product. And if they like your $200 product, they're expecting you to offer them something that's going to be $1,000, because if they're continuing to buy and they're continuing to gain results, they want the next best thing, and the next best thing probably means bigger, better, right? I mean, you know this more than anybody. Frank's not afraid to sell you something that, he'd sell you something for $100,000. He'd at least offer it to you.
That's totally true. And the thing is like, when people say selling, I perceive serving. Because people at that because I do have $100,000 service. If you're a corporation and you're not scaling and you're not using social media, pay me 100 bands and let me serve your company.
Yeah, and so that flow of moving up the value ladder, and let's actually jump into that, because this is something that's important to funnel. We did here, this is time. So there's my little clock. So if you're meeting somebody for the first time, if this is your cold traffic, okay, they're coming into your funnel, and if we're talking about price, if price goes up, it's kind of like dating, right? So when you go to a bar and you see an attractive person, you see a hot chick or good-looking dude across the bar, you're not going to walk right up to him and say, hey, I've got a room upstairs, you want to come with me? Like, you're not going to the penthouse with him right the first time that you guys locked eyes. You're going to say, hey, I'm Kristian, I'm Frank. What's your name, right? That's the introductory. So that's like your lead magnet. Let me even see if I'm interested past the glance across the room. And then you're going to ask them if you can buy them a drink, right? So that's step number one. That's where we come in here at the first level of the value ladder. This is typically something, $7 to say $15, $7 to $12, whatever. Okay, that's not, even if I'm somewhat interested in what you have to offer, I'm probably willing to, if I like what I saw, I'm probably willing to buy something for $7 to $10 and start to get an idea of what kind of, value you can provide me. And then,
hey, Kristian, I just want to point that's how much a drink costs in most cities anyway. So this is like such a good analogy right here.
Right? Yeah, I mean, a Cosmo costs you about $7, right?
Yeah, for sure. So what kind of products would be in this realm? What, for example?
So, this would be like free plus shipping. So if you have a book, and this is something that we do with authors a lot, authors want to try and make money off the book. It's not the book that you're going to make money off of. It's everything that comes with the book. So if you have a book, think about all the other services. You could create workbooks around some of the concepts inside of your book. You can create audio versions of it. You can create more in-depth things that have to do with different chapters. And you create workshops, you create, one-on-one coaching specific to what your book is. And so this is the front end. These would be like, an audio training. I should have just drew a music sign. Hold on. I like drawing on this if you can't tell. So this would be like, this is going to be my musical note. An audio. I do this with clients all the time, so I practice. It'd be like a video, right? Like one video, something like that. Maybe cheat sheets, checklists, things like that, right? So I'll just use this for example. We're talking about funnels. So you might come into my funnel, and I might, there might be some lead magnet or something like that, and then I might offer you for $7, 40-page book on the different types of funnels, or maybe 12 funnel maps. So something that you could print off, or something that I would send you, free plus shipping, that is all the different types of funnels and the entire sequence. So it might look, I got something right here, a bunch of funnel maps that look like this, right? So you see every step of the process, what, where to put your email sequences, all of that.
Hey, Kristian, I want to stop you right there, because that's great value. And most people, myself included, at a certain time in my career, would advise to just give that away for free. But you and I both know that if you don't pay, you don't pay attention.
Well, and here's the thing. Have you noticed every single person that's trying to build an online business, that's trying to do a landing page, lead pages, was one of the primary softwares until, for any of you watching this, we're going to change your entire mind on why you don't want lead pages and why you want to, take Frank and I up on something free that we have for you. That's their whole hook. How to create the perfect lead magnet, freemium, whatever you call it. But if your funnel's done right, your content in the funnel is the lead magnet. You don't need to give anything for free, because people are going to learn by opting into your funnel through your email content, through your sales page content. Like that's the difference. Not all funnels are created equally. There's funnels and there's funnels that convert. And if you create one that converts, everything that you put inside of it is educational enough to people that they're going to walk away from that. And if they didn't purchase, they're probably going to come back and purchase, because they learned so much just from your marketing. The whole purpose of marketing is to make selling non-required. If you do marketing correctly, there's no need for selling. Correct?
Man, that's a quote right there. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, so the purpose of marketing is to make selling ubiquitous. It's not required. So when we look at the value ladder, if we're going to keep it with the dating theme, you buy a drink for $7. Now you take them out to dinner and a movie for about $200, right?
Oh, she went to the Red Lobster and IMAX on you.
To it. Maybe like $150 to $200, right? Or maybe your first date is a weekend trip to nice spa hotel, so as high as like $500, right?
Ooh.
And this would be, yeah. And so this would be like the second tier of the value ladder, and then we start to come up here where you're about $1,000 and above.
Oh, now we're talking about getting matching tattoos. We're going shopping, getting an outfit, everything.
Jimmy Choo's. Yeah, Jimmy Choo's and a Louis Vuitton, right? And I mean, you just keep going. And then when you get up to this point, this is where you change the selling environment. So this is what Frank is doing with his live events. So you change the environment. You take it from online to offline. And this is where you sell, $5,000 packages and, and so this is the value ladder. Once you have this, once you understand all of this, then, the funnel becomes, this stuff is the basis for the funnel. So I'm going to get out of here. so I can see you guys.
That
I
was
love talking about this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. That was a great breakdown. And when you break it down like that, it just, I just kick myself in the butt. Like, man, I should have had a listen day one. I should have been working my listens day one. I'd be a lot further along in my journey. So you gave us a great.
Okay. It's okay because when even if you've got a list of 0 or you've got a list of 1,000, when you start to understand funnels and you start to understand the different pieces, we talk about the traffic side of things. Here's one of the biggest mistakes that people make. This is one of my biggest pet peeves is that I told you there's all these different facets of online marketing, and the easiest one for people to find is social media marketers. And there's no knock on social media marketers, but the one thing that does kind of get frustrating is the fact that social media marketers, for the most part, they market how to market to marketers about marketing products to market to their marketers. It's like this giant Ponzi scheme in a sense, because they're just teaching how to teach to other teachers to continue to keep teaching. And so the concept is that if you can take these things and you can go and take an idea and start a business, then you can just duplicate it in all these different things. So like I said, we're building a political business around Republicans and conservatives. We're building a sports business around digital marketing business. We're taking this exact thing and we're starting to lay the framework for how to do it in real estate. And so when you know how to put all these pieces together, you have a system that when you have an idea, you can go and start a business in any industry, because the marketing will make up for the skills, the knowledge. Those can be developed over time, or you can hire those, right? But if you don't have the marketing on point, and if you don't understand how to find customers and how to move them to a sale, I don't care how skilled you are at something. Nobody's going to know about it, right? And so with social media marketers, the problem is that people see them with their Facebook ad and they've got their nice professional photos and they've got their name of their course and they've got their copy about why their course is so great and this is what it did for me. I got 26,000 people on my list, but then everyone goes and buys it and they don't get the same result because they don't realize that that person has 100,000 Facebook followers and 40,000 YouTube followers. It's not fundamentally sound. There's no basis behind why this worked for that person, right? It's celebrity status. I mean, if I had 100,000 followers and I told them to jump, they'd say how high, right? That's just what happens with influence. People hang on what you're talking to them about. And so it becomes important that you can actually back it up with stats and back it up with, sound fundamentals.
Great stuff. Great stuff. We are going to wrap up here and, really just wind it down. Kristian and I kind of put this on last minute, and this is the business, by the way, guys. Like, everybody has like their own thing going on, and we just kind of like say, yo, we need to link up, we need to serve. So I'm not even sure if we have something to offer, if we have something to even educate people on. But Kristian, where can people get more information about you or working with you?
You're breaking up. So do you want me to guess what you said, or do you want to try that again?
Yeah.
Because
So where can people find out more about you?
All right. So drum roll. Okay. Here's the thing. So if you see Dr. Ikena Finch on here, I see Doc A is on here. We just recently rolled out a digital marketing agency where we do done-for-you services called The Lead Solution. You're going to see a big transition on all my personal social media, where you can connect with me everywhere at Kristian Cotta, but you're going to start to see more of The Lead Solution. You can go to theleadsolution.com. We've just started putting out weekly content. So if you want to learn more about funnels and generating leads online through direct response systems and processes like we talked about at the beginning of the webinar, that's a great place for you to start. But for those of you, I appreciate you putting that in there, Frank. For those of you that you hear what we're talking about with funnels, you've got this feeling that this is something that your business needs, because honestly, every business needs it. And if you weren't aware of it before, hopefully you're aware of it now, that funnels have been around forever. If you've ever been through a McDonald's drive-through and they ask you if you'd like fries with that, that's a funnel. That's called an upsell. Would you like to supersize that? That's an upsell. Funnels have been around forever. And so someone says they're new to funnel, I want to master it. It's perfect, LaDon. So here's what I want you guys to do. Number one, I want you to connect with us. Go to the Lead Solution, sign up for our email list. We're not implementing our direct email marketing strategy yet, because we're getting ready to do some kickoff events for the Lead Solution, but we are putting content out. So that's one way for you to start learning about it. The second thing is, I've only been doing this for about 3 years, and I dove all in. I went all in on it. And one of the first people that I started to learn from was a gentleman named Russell Brunson. And Russell's the one that coined the term funnels, and in the last 3 years has really kind of brought it to the forefront. And he created a piece of software, which if you're using Lead Pages, yep, he was on the Profit, exactly. If you're using Lead Pages, you want to stop right now. Cancel your Lead Pages, because the way that I explain Lead Pages is, if you have a house, Lead Pages is like your welcome mat. It says welcome on it, right? But that's about it. It lets people know that here's the front entry of your door, and that's it. So if you want to walk around with a welcome mat everywhere, and that's what it would be like. It's like you can't kick your feet up on it. You can't go cook dinner in it. You can't light a nice warm fire. You can't play with the kids in the living room. None of that stuff. What ClickFunnels is it's your welcome mat. It's your front door, your side door, your entry, your house, your bedroom, your bathroom. It's all of that. And so ClickFunnels, we've literally built our entire website on the ClickFunnels platform. We use it for our CRM. I mean, we don't use Infusionsoft or any of that stuff, because we have an enterprise account. We've got all the bells and whistles. But for you guys that want to get some additional training, want to start to understand how funnels work from Russell and his team, I've got a link here behind me where you guys can get a free 14-day trial of ClickFunnels using our link. And you can start to see how user-friendly and how easy it can be to start building something that takes time to learn, but you can at least start to see how it works and get some of the training and some of the stuff that they're doing, both from myself, from Russell and the ClickFunnels team. And to be honest with you, everybody, I'd rather point you in the direction of the people that you want to learn from aside from me than, tell you that I can teach it all to you, because I can't. But for those of you that want to take us up on it, the link is healthysuccess.co/ClickFunnels. So I know Frank's going to type that in there. I see his fingers working. Instead of it. So done. ClickFunnels would not be used instead of Aweber. Aweber is the email autoresponder. So if you wanted to get an enterprise account through ClickFunnels, they do have their own email CRM, which is called Actionetics. But if you're using Aweber, ClickFunnels integrates with Aweber, ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, GetResponse. What else? What's the one Jeremy uses? No. With Infusionsoft Entrepreneur, it integrates with all of them. If you do webinars and you want to build webinar funnels, it integrates with GoToMeeting, Webinar Jam. What's the other webinar one? GoToWebinar. That was too easy. So yeah, it integrates with all of those. Stripe, Samcart, all kinds of payment processors. So you literally, if there's one piece of software that I recommend to everybody to run an online business, it's ClickFunnels. You don't need web designers. You don't need, any of that stuff.
Great stuff, man. Great value, Kristian. This is the king of funnels, guys. And he says very humbly, he's only been doing this for 3 years. I know people online who've been doing this for 3 months who claim much bigger than what Kristian says. And the fact that he said that he's not the best person to teach you the whole ClickFunnels side of that, it would just speak volumes to his level of professionalism, speak volumes to his level of, guru status. I consider, in my world, I consider Kristian a guru. He's somebody that I learned from, and that's all that you need. You need to educate people and show people the light and show people the way. And all an expert is somebody that's more ahead of you in your journey. That's it. So you guys right now are now experts compared to most people on funnels, because people haven't invested that time in the funnels like we have this last hour together. So Kristian, thanks again. Again, can you tell us where we can find you personally and connect with you personally?
Yeah, it's I'm going to type it in the comments, but it's the same thing everywhere. It's just Kristian Cotta. Kristian with a K, Cotta with a C. It's your boy, Kristian Cotta.
Sweet, man. Sweet. Well, thank you for serving my tribe with me, and I look forward to serving your tribe and much more, collaborations in the future.
Yeah, we got too much business right now, and we need to scale this puppy. So we got to get on that VA tip.
Yeah, and I got to get on my funnels tip. So this is what influencers do. Like, he's the man, he's the king in his area of funnels, and I'm the king in VAs and outsourcing over here. And kings always make other kings. Kings always reach out to other kings, and we build empires together. Because if there's no empire of the world, there's no emperor of the world. Like, you have to have kings in different parts of the world to run it. Right now, Kristian's in Phoenix, in Arizona. And I'm in the Philippines right now. And sometimes I'll be in Texas. Sometimes I'll be in South Africa and Morocco. It doesn't matter. I'm going to own that space. And I always know if I have a need, I'm just going to Kristian. That's it. And that's what you guys need on your network.
What's funny, Frank, is you talk about all these kings, and Abong, Eka.
Yeah.
Abong's a buddy of mine, and I got him into ClickFunnels, and he's been trying to build them, and he sees the light, and he's the prince of pricing.
Nice.
Keep the royalty theme going.
I love it, dude. All right, man. Hey, thanks a lot for everybody in the Talent Tribe for checking us out live. Thanks for everybody who caught the replay. Make sure you follow my boy, Kristian Cotta. It's my job to find influencers who are going to serve you guys where I lack knowledge and expertise. And this is my guy that I call in once I'm trying to scale my operation. So thanks again, Kristian. Really appreciate it.
Awesome, buddy. Appreciate it.